Good morning, members, officers, members of the public. My name is John Cater, Clerk to the Board. The public element of today's meeting has been recorded in line with City Corporation's policies, and the recording shall be retained for up to 1 year. Chairman. Chairman, thank you. In addition to the Chairman's apology, we've received formal note of apologies from James Tunbridge, Andrew Myers, Tice Brook, James Thompson, Christopher Hayward, Henry Colthurst, Alderman Hales, Shravan Joshi, and Jason Groves. I'm aware that Andrew Myers has joined us on Teams, and I believe possibly another member as well, Chairman, later on in the meeting too. Item 2, Chairman, are member declarations. Are there any declarations on the Code of Conduct in respect of items on today's agenda, please? Mr. Brooks-Wilson, we have yours noted. Absolutely, thank you. At item 3, Chairman, the minutes of our previous meeting on the 20th of January 2026 for decision, pages 5. One amendment, Chairman. Mr. Myers was in attendance at the last meeting. Unfortunately, it wasn't captured due to the fire alarm causing a bit of disruption. I failed to capture Mr. Myers' physical attendance in the room, so I'll correct the minutes.
Yes, thank you.
Chairman, thank you. Item 4, the Future Police Estate Programme, Governance and Delegated Authority, report of the City Surveyor for decision, page 7.
Thank you, Chairman. This paper is seeking delegated authority for the City Surveyor as the SRO for FPEP/Salisbury Square Development Programme to take tactical and operational decisions up to the value of £2 million. This will allow for operational decisions to be taken in a more efficient manner and hopefully avoid any unnecessary delays to the programme or increased costs through supplier charges. The proposal is in line with the approach we've taken for other major programmes. All decisions will be reported to this committee, and just to note that the proposal excludes the use of optimism bias, which will remain in the authority of this committee.
Thank you very much. Does anybody have any views or thoughts on that? Read that. Oh,
I was just slightly confused. Could you just give us a quick burst on the differential between the decision to go to 2 million against the existing signature authority of 15 million? What's the difference between those two, please?
So at the moment, the City Surveyor can sign contracts, but the actual approval to award the contract has to be taken by the committee first. So we're not proposing to change his authority in the signatory, but that actually he could take the award decision up to £2 million. No.
Yes, Philip.
As we get closer to the completion of Salisbury Square, I don't think we've had here an accurate cost of exactly what it has cost to date and what the potential income, both on the most optimistic and the most pessimistic basis. And I feel that this board should have a pretty good idea. We never had a business case for doing the courts. And I think that there is a real gap in our knowledge as members as to where we're actually at and what possible income we may or may receive. And I have shared this with other senior members of the court, and they are aware that I'm asking that question this morning.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. So the pack does now include, and it has done so for the last couple of meetings as well, a financial summary of the full programme. So if you look at the supplementary pack that was submitted late, it's page 6, and that provides you the budget, the total spend and committed, what's left to spend, and the forecast, predicted forecast as well. Page 6. In relation to the commercial income, I believe that is currently with the city surveyors to review.
So perhaps at our next meeting, we could have the updated financial figures, because it was mentioned that we're running at £1 million a day by Paul Wilkinson before he went on holiday of additional cost, and Alistair, the chairman of this board, was in that discussion over lunch. But I've seen nothing about the most optimistic or the most pessimistic of revenue against the £780 million we've spent so far, and that's what worries me.
Chairman, yes, we've got page 6 here. It shows the budget and total spend. I don't think it shows what the original budget was, does it?
No.
I think it'd be terribly useful for the way in which we look at these projects to keep a column of what we originally had as the budget, as opposed to what the revised budget is, which gives quite a different.
Any thoughts?
We can absolutely do that. There was a paper that was brought to Capital Buildings Board. It went to Finance Committee, also went to Court of Common Council. So happy to put that as a reference in relation to, you've got it all the time. The reason why I wanted this in the pack is so that you can actually see what the current commitment has been made. And help you to also inform your decisions when you're taking decisions around the remaining projects that are still in their infancy as well. So it allows you to make those decisions on a pragmatic basis.
Have here is terribly useful. I just think to have the yardstick of where we started sometime.
I think it might be helpful as we head towards what I might call the finishing line in relation to this project. Thank you. Yes, Tim.
Thank you, Chairman. Just in terms of the rigour of and cost control, the paper sets out that the two headlines, that the total development is cost remains at 600 for Salisbury Square development, 633 million, with a forecast final account of 513.5 million. Sitting behind that is a huge amount of work, very detailed work that's carried out by the cost consultant, and we have a best case, a worst case, a likely case that largely revolves around the agreement.
Chairman, sorry to interrupt. So apologies, Tim, into your flow. We may need to take this detail onto non-public, Chairman, given the item is a non-public item.
The only reason for my question initially was because I think we should have more information. That was why it was in the private session. We've rather leapt forward into a slightly more detailed group.
But I have to hold it down, which is rather tough. Yeah. Are you content that we do that, Philip? Is that okay? Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. Item 5, questions on matters relating to the work of the board whilst in public.
I've had no notice of any question, but Philip, I think you wanted to ask.
Well, I'm slightly disappointed by, and I know I wasn't here last time, but we're talking about a massive amount of money that we're spending, and I'm thinking back to P&R last week where we agreed to look at some committees that may have come to the useful end of their life, and I'm just wondering what people feel about the Capital Buildings Board, because Holly has a remit now from P&R to look at our structure of committees, and I would be interested to know what other members of this board think as to where we're sat. I know you have a very strong view about the Barbican, but I don't think the Barbican's coming here. Am I right?
Be a topic not for discussion in public session.
Okay. Sorry,
if
I've
that
never
helpful,
really understood the rules.
would be my view.
Chairman, I can understand why you might think that. Unfortunately, I don't think there is a governance reason for putting it into non-public. Sorry.
The reason I say that
I think
is
the town clerk does either. Look at it.
Chairman,
I think it would be appropriate to go into non-public. If we're discussing that, that's my view.
Chairman, my view,
I would support that.
if it's a broadly governance issue about going into commercial sensitivity numbers, I suspect there will be a public discussion given it's a governance remit. However, you're right. If we then go into finances of our various different major programs, that would be another matter.
I think I formed the view that it should be a non-public.
Yes.
Chairman, thank you. At item 6, any other business you consider urgent at this point?
No, I have none.
Thank you. Item 7, are members content to exclude the public at this point?
Content.
Thank you. Please bear with me.